r/ask Reddit. What was the strangest rule you had to follow at a friend's house? I was around 8, when I went to a friend's house for a playdate and asked for a cup of water. Friend's mom pulls out one of the biggest glasses 8-year-old me had seen and filled it to the brim. I was only used to the small plastic cups at this age, so was not used to such a large amount of water. After drinking just over 1/4 of the glass, I went to go pour it out because I didn't want the rest. I was filled up. Friend stopped me and said that we weren't allowed to pour out water, we had to drink it. 8-year-old me thought that was weird, but looking back, sure. Good way to teach kids not to waste water, especially here in Australia where droughts are so common. So if I wasn't allowed to pour it out, what could I do with it? I thought I would just leave it for later. Friend once again stopped me and explained I wasn't allowed to leave it, I had to drink it all. I said I wasn't thirsty anymore when her mom walked in, and told me that water wasn't allowed to be wasted in this house and I better drink it all. Like right then and there. If you wanted water, you weren't allowed to leave it and come back later. You had to sit there and finish it. 8-year-old me tried to argue why I couldn't leave it for later, and the mum got pissed and had me sit at the kitchen bench stool and finish this massive glass. I sat there grumpily for ages trying to finish this thing so I could go back to playing. I remember getting really uncomfortable because I needed to pee, and sure enough immediately afterwards I was dashing to the toilet. I get teaching kids not to just waste water but let them leave it to come back later. It's water, it won't spoil and they will drink it later. My mom locked me in my room at my 12th birthday party because I cried and had a tantrum when she forced me to clean the whole house in preparation. All of my friends swam in the pool outside and had fun while I sobbed in an empty room. She let me outside later when I caved and gave a forced apology, and about half of my friends had left by then. She also held on to all my gifts and gave me them over the course of a couple months, and I had to do like 5 hours of chores for each one. I didn't even want a birthday party. She pretty much talked me into it. I guess it's kind of first world problems, but man, that was the exact moment of clarity and horror that I realized I was her property and she could do whatever she wanted to me for the next 6 years. Spoiler alert, she did much worse than that. When I was like 8 years old, I was playing at a friend's house in his room upstairs. Needed to go to the bathroom, so went for a pee in the toilet that was upstairs. His mom heard me from downstairs living room, don't know how. She was probably eavesdrop or something. Was yelled at while peeing that this toilet was not for daytime peeing, nighttime only for some reason. So his mom yelled and demanded the 8-year-old me to stop mid-pee, run downstairs, and finish on the daytime toilet. Never was invited again. Still to this day I don't have a clue what went on there and still have so many unanswered questions. Not a friend's house, but my aunt's. She took care of me while my parents went on some trip when I was a kid, and I stayed for about a week. My mom packed me some snacks, my fully charged Nintendo DS, and my MP3 player filled with Hannah Montana songs in my little backpack. As soon as I arrived to my aunt's, who has 3 younger and adopted kids, she took away my snacks because she was worried my little cousins would get jealous and want them. She took away my Nintendo and put it in a box, because apparently The Legend of Zelda is too violent, and she didn't want her kids exposed to that sort of reckless nature. She even took away my MP3 player and put it in that same box because music of any kind was not allowed in the house. Also, she'd made 3 full meals a day. And I'm not talking about just a regular course kid meal, I'm talking about an entire plate full that an adult could eat, for breakfast, lunch and dinner. With me having a small stomach, I physically was unable to finish everything on my plate, and I wasn't allowed to leave the table until every single thing on the plate was gone for each meal. I sat at that table for hours SMH. That's not even counting the snacks she gave us throughout the day. Let's just say my mom regrets letting me stay with my aunt for that week. I even got super sick because the doctor said I was eating way too much than what a kid is normally supposed to eat. It was miserable and I hated it.